Today's lesson is on ratio. You might want to watch this video. I'll try and make it as quick as I can and then do the online test. The first thing to do is to think about when you're writing a ratio. So let's say we've got a ratio, we've got 5 boys and 8 girls in a class. And you're asked to write the ratio of boys to girls. Boys must come first. It would go 5 to 8. Let's say for every hour of TV, you get 12 minutes of adverts. And they want you to write the ratio of TV programme to advert. You couldn't write this ratio as 1 to 12. The problem with this ratio is these are different units. If you're going to write a ratio, you must put them as the same units. So you'd have to change this one to 60 minutes to go with the 12 minutes. And then when you had the ratio of the TV programme to the adverts, your ratio would be 60 to 12. But there's a problem with them. The problem is you can simplify them, and this is the second thing that I'm testing you on. When you simplify a ratio, you have to find a common factor. You should try and find the biggest common factor you can, but as any common factor will do. I can see a common factor of 2. So I'm going to divide both of these by 2, which gives me 30 to 6. Can you see another common factor? You might be able to see another common factor of 2. You might be able to see there's a common factor of 3. Or you might be able to see that there's a common factor of 6. If you can see more than one factor, divide by the biggest factor. So this becomes 5 to 1. So the ratio of TV programmes to adverts is 5 to 1. So for the first few questions of the quiz, write the ratios, make sure you get them in the correct order. And if you're simplifying any ratios, make sure they're in the same units before you simplify them. The next thing the test asks you to do is split a ratio. So this is the kind of question where it says there are a ratio of 5 boys to 3 girls. And remember what I said is you should really rewrite the ratio like I have just. So let's say the ratio of boys to girls is 5 to 3. And there are 40 students in total. And it could ask you a number of different things. It could ask you how many boys. It could ask you how many girls. And it could ask you things like how many more boys than girls, how many more girls than boys, how many less girls than boys, all sorts of things. So basically the first thing you want to do is you want to just work out if there's 40 students in the class, how many boys are there and how many girls are there. So remember, we did bars and we said, okay, so there's 5 lots of boys and there's 3 lots of girls. That means there's 8 lots of people altogether. So how many people in each of those boxes? 40 split into 8 boxes is 5. So there must be 5 people in each box. That means there must be 25 boys, because these add up to 25, and there must be 15 girls. Now, once you've got that information, you can answer any question. If they say how many more boys than girls, you say 10. If they say how many less girls than boys, 10. So if you can do those boxes and work out how many of each thing there is, those questions become quite easy. But always start with doing the boxes, working out how many of each thing there are. And the final thing I'm testing you on is writing a ratio as a fraction. So we'll keep with this one. If the ratio of boys to girls is 5 to 3, what fraction of the students are boys? Well, the boys would be 5 out of 8 altogether, and the girls would be 3 out of 8 altogether. Let's say we are making a drink and we use 2 lots of cranberry juice, 1 lot of orange juice, and 5 lots of pineapple juice. So this was cranberry, orange, and pineapple. They could ask you what fraction of the drink is cranberry juice, what fraction is orange juice, or what fraction is pineapple juice. So we'll start with the cranberry juice. What fraction of this drink is cranberry juice? Well, it's 2 out of, well, how many parts are there altogether? 8. You could simplify that as well. What fraction of orange juice is the drink? 1 out of, well, there's 8 altogether. And what fraction of pineapple juice is the drink? Well, there's 5 parts pineapple juice out of 8 altogether. And that's the final one. It's just what fraction does each bit of the ratio represent. And just remember, it's the fraction is that part of the ratio out of everything all together.